guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Fola. If this is your first time stopping by, you're welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, I love you. Thank you. Today, I've just come to talk. Nothing in particular. I know we're going to make a point, but I've just come to talk about immigration generally. It kind of feels like immigrating to Canada or migrating to Canada has become a little bit harder than it used to be. I know this is probably not true because the pandemic did a thing where the backlog is crazy. I have friends who have applied for Express Entry Federal Skilled Work and it's almost 2 years or even more than 2 years and these guys have not heard anything. I know how many GCMS notes I have applied for my friends. It's so crazy. Everything just seems to be stagnant. And I know it's not Canada's fault. Nobody expected the pandemic was going to happen. Somehow, I feel like Canada is taking a little bit slower to address it. I mean, COVID-19, the pandemic is something that is part of life right now, and everyone has moved on. But the only thing that seems to be stagnant is immigration. People's applications are not being processed. Nothing is happening. It's just crazy at this point. Even though they recently released a report that they're going to start drawing Express Entry back from next month, do I believe them? A part of me wants to believe them. I feel like 90% I believe that Express Entry is going to start being drawn next month again. But with the pace that immigration officers are working right now, even the Express Entry applications that are going to start being drawn next month, I don't even think they're going to get a response anytime soon. Like, it's crazy. 6 months application process going up to 2 years plus. That is absolutely bonkers. Canada, do something about it. Okay, I know beggars can be choosers. We are literally not beggars, right? I mean, it's a privilege to be in this country. It's a privilege that Canada's migration process is easy and very straightforward. If you qualify for it, you're gonna come. But we also deserve a little bit of dignity to know that if you say my application is gonna be processed in 6 months, it's gonna take 6 months and not 2 years, if you know what I mean. Anyway, that is not what I've come to talk about today. I have come to talk about how we can fulfill and make our part of the process easier. Canada is always going to be Canada. IRCC is always going to be IRCC. They might not have immigration officers to work on file. They may be overwhelmed. That is fine. But what are we as the applicants doing on our part? Are we getting our applications ready? Are we taking advantage of the opportunities as they are coming? For example, they already announced that Express Entry is going to start next month. Do you have your application ready? Are you in the pool waiting for the draws to happen? Or you're still there not making a decision yet? What are we doing on our part? Their part, they'll fix it. Our part is to get the job done. We need to take advantage of the opportunities. One thing that I've learned, and that is even before I ever thought of coming to Canada, is that immigration rules change every time. I have a sibling who lives in another country that is not Canada, and they did their masters in that country. And the crazy thing is, the year they finished their masters was the year this country stopped their postgraduate work permit kind of thing. If they had waited another year or a couple of months, they would never have been able to stay back in that country. So that is when I realized that you need to take advantage of opportunities when it comes to immigration. One day can make all of the change. There's a news on CBC recently that talked about how some students from Ontario, graduates from Ontario colleges or university, came to Nova Scotia to take advantage of a Nova Scotia provincial program. I really don't know about that program. I've not read about it. But the program required you to have worked 12 months for a Nova Scotia employer, and then you would qualify to apply for your permanent residency through the province. There's this particular guy, or maybe there are many people anyway, but there's this particular person that had already worked like 11 months and 30 days or something like that. And then guess what they woke up to? The rules changed. Nova Scotia decided that they didn't want students who didn't study in Nova Scotia anymore to apply for that program. So they excluded foreign trained students outside of the province. This guy has been working for 12 months. He had already made his plan that this is how I'm gonna apply for permanent residence in Canada. And within the blink of an eye, a day before he qualified, the rules literally changed. I was reading the article and I'm like, this is so unfair. These guys do not deserve this. They have worked hard. They've planned. I just put myself in their shoes like, imagine I've worked hard, I've found an employer, I've done my job diligently, and I'm like, okay, by tomorrow I'm gonna be 12 months. I qualify to apply for my permanent residency through this program. I just have to gather my documents and apply when I'm 12 months. And I wake up and I see I do not qualify anymore. It is so freaking painful. But then we also have to realize that this is Canada. They make the rules. Nova Scotia makes their rules. There is nothing we can do about it. Yeah, we can protest, we can go to CBC, we can complain on the internet, but really, they have the power to make their rules on their own end. So that is why I'm just saying, guys, you need to prepare. If you know about the express entry, you know about the tie-breaking rule. You're in a situation that if the draw is like 475 and you have 475, but the day you enter the pool is a tie-breaking rule, you're not gonna get called. So you know that even one day, even a couple of hours can make all of the changes in your immigration journey. Do not wait for anything. If you qualify for it, apply for it. I have a friend that back in 2019 or 2018, I don't really remember, they wanted to come to Canada. They already wrote IELTS. I think they passed their IELTS. I can't remember, but they almost had everything ready. But for some reason, they said they wanted to stay back in Nigeria and get a promotion or something like that, or get a better job or something. I'm like, that is okay. You can stay back in Nigeria, right? But you know Canada is your end goal. You really want to come to this country. Put in your application, enter the pool, start your process. It's not like it is when you enter the pool that you are going to get PR immediately. It's still a process. There's still a processing time. Enter the pool. I think their score was about 470 at that point, and that was good enough back then. And I'm like, just enter the pool, you're good to go. Even when you get your PR, you don't have to come to Canada immediately. When you feel like your career is good in Nigeria and you're ready to move to Canada, you have your permanent residency already. I told them this and yeah, they heard it. But did they do anything? No, they didn't do anything. Guess what? The pandemic came and then guess whose phone was beeping? So I'm like, okay, it's not too late. Let's reevaluate. Let's see what's happening. We see that, okay, you can still apply for express entry, but guess what? Canada stopped drawing for express entry. That's closed. Another thing happened. They became more than 30 years old. Their points dropped. Now they're probably sitting at 460 something. And we don't know if when Canada resumes express entry, 460 something is good enough for them. Let me tell you the flip side to what could have happened. They could have, at that point, applied for express entry in 2019, got the promotion or got a better job in Nigeria, still making their bands while the application is being processed, get their permanent residency through the express entry route, still stay at their job in Nigeria, doing their thing, living their life. No one's forcing you. Come do your soft landing in Canada, 2-3 weeks, do soft landing, get your permanent residency card, go back to Nigeria, start doing your stuff. Start getting back to your job, making your money. Pandemic comes, oh my God, you lost your job, you lost whatever was happening to you. Okay, I want to come to Canada. At that point, they already had their permanent residency. All they had to do was pack their bags and come to Canada. But you know what's happening now? They can't even come to Canada because they never took advantage of that opportunity at that point. They didn't do it. They were waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time, if you have the goal to move here, is now. This is the perfect time for you. You don't have to wait for one situation of this is gonna happen. If you don't have the goal, if it's not your goal, it's okay, stay back. Nigeria is good, lit, party, I love it. But if your goal is to live in Canada, you have to make it work immediately. What are you doing to make sure that when the first draw happens next month, you are gonna be picked? Are you in the pool? Has your score dropped? Your score has dropped. Have you done another IELTS? Have you maxed it out? Are you taking French classes? Is your spouse getting a master's degree to increase your points? Those are the things you need to start thinking about. We cannot control how um, immigration officers are going to handle things. No one can control that, but we can control things in our end. We can control what our score is going to be. We can control when we can go into the pool. We don't have to wait till we see that, oh, the first draw has been done. That's when you're starting to write your English exam. Excuse me, that doesn't work that way, if you get what I mean. So take advantage of this time when Canada is not doing anything and prepare. Guys, let me tell you something. From everyone that I've spoken to about Canada, moving to Canada, and I speak to a lot of people about that, one of their major concerns is money. Money is hard to come by. Even we that we are here, we know everything is freaking expensive. I want out of adulthood. Money is hard to come by, but you're doing yourself a disservice if money is the last thing you're planning for. When I decided that I wanted to come study in Canada, one of the most important conversations that I had up front was sitting down with my dad and saying, see, this is my goal. I want to study in Canada. What is the maximum that you can pay in a year for tuition? If my dad said $20,000, I am not going to go get admission into a university that requires me to pay $50,000. Same thing with migrating as a student, as a permanent resident. There's no point in you having your IELTS ready. You score 9 all through. Good. CLB 10. I love that. Or you have your degree evaluation, 2 or more degrees, professional degrees, medical doctor, perfect. And then you're entering the pool, you've been picked, and you don't have your proof of fund. What is happening? From the moment that you've decided that I want to come to Canada as a permanent residency through express entry, or I want to come study in Canada, that is the moment you should start thinking about money. Canada needs to show 14,000, 13,000. I don't remember the amount now if you're coming as express entry federal skilled worker. At that point, that is when you should start thinking, okay, I'm going to write my IELTS exam tomorrow. You also start saving my $14,000 or find a way around it. If it's a gift stage that you're going to do, if you're going to liquidate your assets, people always have a way to find money. That is when you should start thinking about it. Okay, do not make money the last on the list because it is equally as important as you having CLB 10. So guys, I feel like that is basically all I've come to talk about today. Immigration is changing. Even the stream I used to apply for my permanent residency, AIPP, I went on their website some couple weeks ago because I needed to check list of employers for somebody, and I think the employers are reduced by half. The employer I used that was designated, that sponsored me for permanent residency, is no longer on the list. Another employer I worked with, no longer on the list. Even one of the biggest employers here in Nova Scotia that help people with PR, they are no longer on the list. The list of employers have literally been cut short. It's just like a lot, it takes a lot than it used to take previously. But I don't want this to discourage you at all. There are still multiple streams. Those guys that the immigration rule affected, trust me, there are still multiple streams that they can use to get permanent residency here in Nova Scotia. So don't be discouraged. Put in the work. Do the job on your own part too, and you will be surprised how it's gonna work out for you. I don't want you to be discouraged. It's so heartbreaking and crazy when you realize that all through last year, there was no express entry federal skilled worker draw. Even for Canadian experience class, people who studied here and are trying to use their Canadian experience, they haven't had a draw in months. But I believe that this is about to change, and this means that hopefully everything is going to go back to normal, and applications that are supposed to take 6 months will start taking 6 months. The ones that are supposed to take a year will start taking a year. And my people, you guys, will not have to wait for long to hear from IRCC anymore. IRCC, you need to step up. We love Canada. We want to stay back here. We want to help Canada as much as Canada is helping us. let my people come. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm gonna see you in my next video. Bye bye.